This is a meeting of April 25, 2024 of the DuPage County Zoning Board of Appeals. The first item on the agenda is to have either a roll call or acknowledge the members present, and I'll acknowledge that, let's call the roll because we have to deal with Zane's Zoom appearance. Could you call a roll?
Ken,
Go right ahead.
Member Schultz,
Here.
Member Murphy,
Here.
Member Moran,
Here.
Member Ketter,
Here.
Member Rahman.
You were called, Zane. So
Here.
indicate you're here present by Zoom.
Present by Zoom, due to business.
And Chairman Cardinal.
Here. So we have a physical quorum present. Ms. Anderson is not here as yet. She may appear, and if she does, we'll indicate. Mr. Rahman is present by Zoom, and he indicated his reason, which is one of the enumerated reasons to permit the Zoom appearance. We have one item of public comment that's been received and will be included in the meeting minutes. There are no minutes of any prior meetings to approve, and so we'll call our first item on the substantive item on the agenda, which is public hearing 24-022, the Somerset Plaza LLC. This is a conditional use to allow auto sales with auto repair in the B1 local business district. The matter was published in the Daily Herald on April 10, 2024. It's been circulated. I have no formal objections, but I have comments by means of a letter from Burr Ridge, and then some comments which I'm not able to read from, I think, a township highway person, because that seems to be circled, but I've requested that we ask the author of those comments to indicate the comments in an email or in some written type form that I can read with some confidence. I'll call on Mr. Lukens. And at first, could you just tell us who's going to testify and everybody be sworn in?
How about we'll have them all sworn in. I'm not sure anybody's gonna testify besides me, but just in case.
Would you all raise your right hands, please? You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give at this cause and hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Okay, you could do the exhibits, Phil, if you want.
For the record, Phil Lukey Hans on behalf of the applicant. The applicant is Somerset Plaza LLC located in Downers Grove. Exhibit 1 is the survey for the property. Exhibit 2 will be the site plan, and exhibit 3 is just an aerial of the area. Property is zoned B1. Applicant is proposing a conditional use in an existing development which is on 3.4 acres and unincorporated Willowbrook on Route 83 or Tannery Highway. There's 3 access to the property. One is off. Only 2 can actually show here. One is directly off 83 or Tannery Highway. One is to the north off Honeysuckle Rose, actually 2. And then to the south through another development, and a shared access goes out to another road to the south. As you can see. Through here.
Our publication indicates, just for clarification, that we have about 1 3/4 acres. Do you have?
Yeah, what you have is you have this lot is 1 3/4 acre, but the entire site is about 3.48.
What parcel is the subject
The
of the
subject parcel
zoning?
is on lot 1.
And that is the 1 3/4 acre.
Yeah.
And so is this some kind of a strip center or something?
Yeah, what you have is a strip center with strip center here, an outlet building to the south, and 3 outlet buildings, 4 outlets, but I think 3 buildings to the east on Route 83. So, the outlets are a restaurant, a car wash, and an office building directly on Route 83. The relief we're requesting is actually this 1-story brick and concrete block building. It's existing. It is an existing auto repair garage.
It was hard to see where you were pointing.
It's right in the middle. I'll get a little closer. I'm sorry. We don't have an easel tonight.
Okay.
It's actually there's three buildings, but two of them are connected. There's a one-story brick building to the north. There's a one-story, it says brick and concrete building, block building in the middle, and then to the south, you have another one-story brick and concrete block building. It's the one in the middle here. How best to share this, but.
You know the use of the others?
Yeah, I'll get that to you right now.
Okay.
What you have in these other uses is the one-story brick building to the north has multiple commercial retail type uses. It's a normal strip mall, has a liquor store, a pantry, restaurants, dentist. To the south is a tobacco store. Out front is a car wash, and you have an H&R Block in this building to the north. The existing use in the property that we're looking at is as a garage, auto repair garage. And then they also have restaurant, besides the tobacco on the south is a restaurant in here as well. So pretty much your normal strip mall retail uses is what you're looking at here. That's what's currently existing, other than this garage. The middle building, which is the subject of this application, is currently being used as an automobile repair shop, as I said, and it's been used that way for 40 years. My client bought the property in the center in 2016 with the ongoing repair shop and just assumed it had been permitted from a zoning standpoint. It is my understanding that the tenant came to this board sometime last year and was seeking relief to sell automobiles out of its repair shop, and it was determined that the repair shop was non-conforming. So it was pulled, and we refiled an application today. So we're seeking two conditional uses. One is an automobile repair garage, which is listed as an conditional use in the B1 local business district. The other one, we'll talk about a little more thoroughly in a minute, is sale of automobiles out of that same building. The current operator of the shop is All In Automotive. All repairs are performed inside the building. Their business is open 8 AM to 6 PM, Monday through Saturday. No storage of inoperable vehicles or parts such as tires will take place outside. This is an entirely inside operation. Business in essence, general auto repair, engine oil or engine work, oil changes, brakes, tires, etc. There is no body work, no salvage. Garage doors are closed whenever possible and safe. No long-term storage of vehicles, normal turnarounds a day, 2 at most. 60 to 70, it's a little different than a lot, or maybe, I don't know a lot about the auto repair business, so I shouldn't say that, but about 60%, 70% is direct customer work. You and I going in, need whatever we need. The other 30 to 40% is from dealers. Dealers send them over, hey, we need some repair done, and that's the other part of their business. Customers, and I know the Burr Ridge had a bunch of questions. I'm trying to kind of answer them as I go without having to go for each question, but I think almost all of them will be answered here. Customers can make an appointment or drive in and see about availability. Okay. Sales of automobiles. In this case, the vehicle sales would only be internet-based. There would be no display of vehicles for sale. It's not public generated. It's not like, hey, it's on the internet for the public. This is for sales to dealers. So a car gets repaired, whatever they buy, it gets repaired, they'll sell it to a dealer online or whatever, but it's internet sales to dealerships. This isn't heavy traffic, oh, we're gonna have cars here. There's cars aren't being stored here. They're being stored somewhere else, and then they're brought in for that once somebody has an interest in it. Okay. Sale of automobiles is not a quote listed conditional use in B1. It falls under the quote, other retail and service business uses similar in nature and intensity to those permitted uses already permitted. All of those already permitted uses listed in the section. So just want to go through real quickly what other similar type, and remember, this is just for automobile internet sales. It's not repair. That's already a conditional use. So similar permitted retail and service businesses in the B1 district. And I think it's important to note that this is really a sales operation, but while it's a bigger piece of equipment than some of these, it's a lot less, traffic. There's almost no traffic. They sell 3 to 5 cars a month. This isn't like, oh my gosh, we're selling 100 vehicles out of this thing. So other ones that are similar, automobile accessory sales store, automobile rental, barber shops, beauty parlors, bakery stores, department stores are allowed in B1. Discount stores, drug stores, cleaning, dry cleaning, packaged liquor, furniture stores, garden supply stores, hardware stores, I could go on, restaurants, places of assembly, health clubs, things that are much more intense use than what we're talking about here. In reality, this use will have many fewer customers and traffic than all the uses I just mentioned. In essence, it's a store that sells bigger items. Sales would be business to business. They would sell repaired vehicles to local auto dealers. As I said, no sales to the public. There'll be no sales lot or advertising as a car dealership outside. You're not gonna see a banner or anything, and I think that was one of Burr Ridge's questions. What kind of, are we gonna have a bunch of signs, a bunch of banners? No, that's not what this is. We're not having people come off the street and say, oh, I need a used car today, let's go buy one. Okay, that's not what you're talking about here. On exhibit 2, not the easiest to see, but there is a parking calculation. And the parking required by current proposed uses is 152 cars. We have 163. So
Is that for the entire strip?
I believe that's just for this lot 1.
Okay, and are any of those spots designated for any tenant?
They're all multi-use.
Okay,
There might be 1 or 2 that maybe, but nothing significant. Most of the auto repair people park in these 10 spots here and some out here, but from it does not appear that the 15 are ever really full. I mean, given the type of business it is, it's just not, there's not a lot of people sitting around waiting. I know one of the questions that, Burr Ridge asked was lighting. There's no anticipated lighting changes. We're really just keeping the same property and uses that are already on the site and adding this idea of internet sales. To make the property safer, which I think was also one of Burr Ridge's question, the property owner has recently installed 13 cameras in the parking lot. As I guess we've all talked about living word and me way too much lately in front of this board. This is living word would apply, and all the stuff that, type of property use is expressly permitted within a zoning district, as long as it meets certain criteria and is not detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. Presumption can only be overcome by clear and convincing evidence. No such clear and convincing evidence is here. I'll go through the special use standards real quick. 1, in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the chapter, will not be injurious to the neighborhood, detrimental to public welfare, or in conflict with the county's comprehensive plan. As I said, these are all conditional uses in B1. The aerial, I'll kind of describe the surrounding area real quick. The aerial is exhibit 3. The outline in black with my awful handwriting is right here. This is the parcel, the big parcel. And then the western half of that is the 1 point whatever acres. You have behind it all apartments, and on the side are all apartments, not high-end apartments. I'll just leave it at that. To the, and then obviously you're on Route 83 across the street, nice homes. And then just shortly up, you still have commercial, you have McDonald's, falafel store, etc. as you go up Route 83. Going down to the south is Chinmaya, which unfortunately I know you'll be seeing in about 6 or 7 months as well for redevelopment. But so that Chinmaya is a mission church type use of property. As I said, it's one of the proposed use is one of the least intensive uses from a traffic standpoint. And with all the repairs occurring inside, it's not like there'll be any additional noise because of it. The repair shop will not change, just add a few trips a day at most for the car sales. Will not impair an adequate, number 2, will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property. There's no change in the light or air here. Will not diminish the value of land and building in the vicinity of the proposed conditional use. People will not notice any change in the use, traffic, etc. The uses fit within already exist or fit in with the already existing and permitted uses in the strip center and area. And the only noticeable use is one that's been going on for 40 years. Number 4 will not unduly increase traffic congestion in the public streets and highways. As you all know, Route 83 is a state highway. We're not aware of any current traffic condition, and this extra 3 cars a month we're gonna sell, 3 to 5 cars, is not gonna add a lot of traffic. So this is not an actual trip generator of any significance. Number 5 does not increase the potential for flood damages. Obviously, no building envelope is changing here, so will not increase anything as far as flooding. 6 will not incur additional public expense for fire protection, rescue, relief. There's no excess or additional burden for fire protection, rescue, relief. It's already existing, as well as the car sale is not going to add that either. Number 7 will not otherwise impair the public health, safety, comfort, morals, or general welfare of the inhabitants. As shown above, detailed actions will be undertaken to ensure that subject property will not impair public health, safety, comfort, etc. There's just no real effect on the neighborhood, public health, safety, welfare. This is a pretty innocuous change, and most of what we're asking for is already existing. So in sum, this project meets the living word ordinance and is presumed to be meets the conditional use ordinance and is presumed to be acceptable under living word, and we would ask for a recommendation on both conditional uses.
Okay, one of the things that we do if we grant a conditional use is to put time limits, which we don't need to discuss now. But we also put a limitation based on the particular operator. The petitioner is apparently the owner of the real estate. Could you identify who operates, what entity operates the sales part of the auto sales business? And then I'm gonna have the same question.
All in
All in
one
LLC.
All in one automotive LLC. As
And
both.
have they been the operator for the 40 years that you discussed? This is a new operation.
Relatively new, 2-3 years.
Okay. And what entity operates the repair business?
Both, it's the same entity for both.
Are all of the cars that are repaired cars that are obtained for the ultimate purpose of sale?
No, primarily not.
Okay, are all of the cars? Let's see, what's the?
What's the opposite?
Yeah,
I think maybe some, but I don't think all.
so in other words, you could repair cars that you sell. You could repair cars that are just,
Repair, you're in my car.
right. And where do you obtain, you say you sell about 3 or 4 cars a month?
Mhm.
Do I recall that they're high-end vehicles?
No, I don't believe they're high end. They're sold to dealerships, so I think.
Okay, and they're sold to dealerships?
Yes. They're
Where
not
do
sold,
they come from?
I think some come from dealerships, and tell me if I'm wrong, and some come from.
They are,
automobiles that
so
are-
most
just-
of the,
Just wait a second, please. Come from automobiles that are repaired. Now, if you want to go ahead and state your name for the record.
I'm Rick, I'm the manager of the.
What's your last name, Rick?
Sazanskis.
Can you spell that, please?
Sazanskis. So, majority of the cars would come from the dealerships. And the other part would come from the online auctions, such as insurance auctions or other auctions found on the internet.
Gives me a little different perspective. So it's kind of a niche business. Okay, and so there's no new lighting, there's no designated parking, but can you how many employees are there?
Currently 4 counting, owner of the shop.
Okay. Because I'm not especially familiar with auto repair of any kind, but it seems to me that it's the bodywork style repair that creates noise.
I thought we weren't doing body
Are
work.
there any other? Yeah, I know, I'm talking about noise and I'm eliminating the fact.
Oh,
that
okay,
since they
gotcha.
don't
We'll make
do-
sure I heard it right. Okay.
Do you do any other kind of repair that creates particular
No, sir,
noise?
just the usual mechanical repair, no body repairs.
Okay. And all of that occurs within your building?
Yes.
This case has been, this case and a similar case have been, before the, ZHO, process, twice, I believe.
For the what?
The ZHO, the thing that I do with the fence cases and whatever.
Okay.
So I have some background on some of this, which is why I asked some of these questions. All right, does anybody else have any questions of the petitioner?
So no large trucks.
No, the biggest vehicle we would repair is a pickup truck, medium duty vehicle.
How are the cars that you're gonna sell delivered?
So hopefully when we receive a sales license, we would also receive at least one dealership license plate. And we would personally drive those cars from point A to point B, which the point B would represent the dealership which are we selling to.
And do they get there to go out the same day, or you're gonna store them inside?
So the cars are not going to be stored anywhere in the vicinity, so we'll have a different storage location. We're actually right now looking at a storage just down the street, south. If you're coming down the 83rd, there's a big parking lot. Technically, it's already in Lamont, and they're renting spots for the cars, in which we are planning to park those cars in between shop and sales. So before we sell them, but after we fix them, we're gonna park those cars there in the parking lot. It's a pretty big parking lot. There's a lot of trucks and trailers parked there as well, so it's not gonna be an issue for the parking lot that the shop is currently at.
So to follow up on Mr. Cotter's question, there's no big trucks coming in. What do you call them?
Car carriers.
That's a,
No.
okay,
What are they called?
Car
car
carriers.
carriers.
Oh, car carriers.
That's what
Yeah,
the guys know
yeah.
about.
Yeah, and I think that resolves the township highway commissioner, I think it's the township highway commissioner's question. Because I think it was, you wanted to make sure nothing got dropped off in the township streets.
Whatever. Okay, no one else? Any, well, now we have a gentleman that's come in.
I think I think he also represents the tenant, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Represents who?
The tenant.
Oh, the tenant, okay. Well, do you have any, concluding remarks?
No, I think I made him.
Very good. Well, we'll, close the public hearing. I think we can close the record in the case because we don't need additional information to be submitted after the hearing in writing or otherwise. So, well, let's take your case, June 6th at 5:30 in this room for a recommendation on this case and, you know, perhaps others. Okay?
We're actually downstairs.
Oh, it's down, oh, that's right. We have definitely others. So it'll be in the cafeteria on June 6th. Pardon me?
I think one of them is mine.
Oh. Well, let's see what kind of an average you have. All right, we're closed. The public hearing is closed. I'll indicate that with respect to the meeting, there's no old business, new business, and we can now adjourn the meeting. So we're concluded for the evening.
Thank you,
Thanks.
gentlemen.